I can still hear the faint, deliberate clink of her sister's fork tapping against her wine glass. 3 sharp taps that sliced through the room, like a verdict being delivered. "If you want a place here, you need to measure up," her sister declared, her lips curling with false generosity. My wife let out a small, cruel laugh. It wasn't loud, but it was enough to break something inside me. That was the instant I felt everything within me die. I rose quietly from my chair, slid my wedding ring off, and placed it gently onto a cloth napkin like a fragile artifact. Without uttering a word, I walked straight out the door. None of them tried to stop me. Not then. When I married her, I had nothing but a vision and a backpack. She pretended to believe in me, or at least that was the part she liked to play. In truth, she inserted me into her perfect little life as a supporting character, someone to boost her storyline at the right moments. Her family flaunted their wealth like a noxious perfume, heavy, suffocating, and impossible to ignore. But I didn't care. I loved her. I cooked for us, handled the bills, kissed her on the forehead each morning, and made her laugh. When my startup finally got funded, I bought her the luxury car her father once sneered I'd never afford. They all said I was fortunate to have her. Reality was, she was fortunate I was loyal. But loyalty has its limits. The signs of her betrayal started subtly. More frequent girls' nights, phones conveniently on airplane mode, an unfamiliar lipstick shade resting on the bathroom counter, traces of someone else's cologne clinging to her scarf, and most painfully, the way her eyes stopped seeing me. She looked through me as though I was already gone. I didn't confront her immediately. Emotional outbursts only complicate things. Instead, I planned. Precision always outperforms anger. I brought in a private investigator, not just for her, but for her sister as well. Their hushed conversations behind closed doors always left me uneasy. Soon enough, the truth surfaced. Her sister wasn't just a bystander. She was an accomplice. Financial transfers, leaked business information. They were orchestrating my downfall while smiling to my face. What they didn't realize was that early in the marriage, she had willingly signed over certain legal rights, dismissing it as insignificant paperwork. She forgot. I didn't. I gathered every piece of evidence. Financial statements, email trails, and a damning video of both sisters toasting to my supposed ruin. They assumed my silence meant ignorance. What they failed to understand is that quiet men aren't fools. We're simply patient. For 6 months, I moved in complete silence, transferred half of my wealth offshore, secured a second identity, and discreetly shifted company shares. Bit by bit, I reduced my ownership while retaining full control. She blindly signed off on everything, never reading a single document. She stopped asking how my work was going. I stopped complimenting her beauty. By the 7th month, I set the final trap. She cheated again, only this time, I ensured the evidence was irrefutable. I walked out on a Thursday. By Friday, her personal accounts were frozen. Saturday, the condo her sister once flaunted became mine through legal maneuvering. And on Sunday, I handed her divorce papers during brunch. She laughed at first, until she saw the documents, until she saw the footage, until she saw the ring resting inside the envelope. But that wasn't the end. That was merely the beginning. She ran back to her father, seeking refuge. But I had already been there before her, presenting every shred of evidence. Her father, stone-faced, shook my hand and simply said, "You're a clever man." Then, without hesitation, he cut her off entirely. Her sister didn't fare any better. She was terminated immediately after it was revealed she had been embezzling company funds to sponsor those secret escapades. They both arrived at my apartment days later, drenched, mascara streaking down their faces, desperation leaking from every pore. "I'm sorry," my wife whimpered. Her sister couldn't even lift her gaze. I stepped aside, allowing them inside, letting them believe forgiveness was possible. "You didn't mean for this?" I asked softly. Tears welled in her eyes. "No, I smiled coldly. "You meant every part of it. That's why this is justice." Now, they flood my phone with apologies, begged at familiar places, hoping I might show up. Her sister tried spinning lies online, only for me to quietly release just enough footage to crush her fabricated story. My ex-wife now sits alone in a small rental apartment, stripped of money, reputation, and the name she once carried so proudly. She's become nothing more than a fading echo of the woman who once smirked as I was humiliated at her family's table. And me? I sleep soundly, peacefully, because real justice isn't loud. It's silent. It's deliberate. It's watching the empire they built on deceit crumble while you rise untouched from the ruins. I once loved her, but love doesn't mean sacrificing your soul while someone slices you apart and serves your dignity as entertainment. They thought they could play in the shadows, but I am the shadows, and I never forget. This was never just revenge. This was restoration. And as I walked away from it all, I smiled. While they weep in the darkness they created,